If the version of me from 2 years ago would have been told that after watching Top Gun Maverick, I was about to get the same movie with a different buzzworthy Hollywood actor who is a little bit on the past the prime of their career, coming back to act in a high octane action vehicular movie starring directed by Joseph Kosinski, I would have said, get the fuck out of here. But F1, baby. Here we go. F1 exists, and F1, I wrote in my letterbox review, it's exactly what I thought it would be, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted to see the magic that Top Gun Maverick gave me. Again, it's a rare feeling to get the magic that Top Gun Maverick gave you. Matter of fact, it's a film that is so specific to nostalgia, really to like the family dynamic, the love, the bond between a mentor and a young pilot, like all that stuff kind of exists. And as I say this out loud, I realize that shit that's also in the F1 movie, really, when you think about it. Really, this movie is just Top Gun and F1. Essentially, for those who don't know, F1 is about Sonny Hayes, who is a former F1 driver, crashed a car really, really bad, who went to IndyCar, NASCAR, who's essentially made his way all the way back to Formula One in a last ditch attempt by the worst team in F1. They are the worst team. They haven't had a point all season. They haven't had a point in the history of their franchise, and they're going to give an old guy a shot. Now, on paper, you go, yeah, here we go. This is Top Gun Maverick all over again. This is Pete Mitchell returning to the Air Force to help them out. He's going to have to fly. He's going to have to do, and we go off. Now, I will say, imitation is flattery. Imitation is also annoying. But when you're imitating something really good and you're the person who made it, well, then full send that shit, man. So Joseph Kosinski is really just firing on all the cylinders that made Top Gun Maverick really work. There's a love story, there's a mentorship story, there is a story. The technical achievement that is F1 is unbelievable, strapping cars to live vehicles as they move and weave on the road. The movie is a visual feast, similar to what Top Gun was, where you have the cameras tied to the jet. Now I realize I've made a lot of comparisons to Top Gun, so I'll stop here and move forward to F1. F1 is your perfect popcorn film for the summer. It is good for just about anybody. You can bring a 6-year-old to watch this movie. You can bring a 90-year-old to watch this movie. There's nothing to dislike about it. At a runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes, it flies by, speeds by. It makes its way through its runtime at such a swift pace, and it keeps you engaged the entire time. You are following these men on a journey, really following them on a journey to have the best season they possibly can have. And that's something that isn't very easy to accomplish when your team is last, when you don't have the car, when you don't. And I think, there's a whole debate that can be made of if this film does justice to the sport of F1. I'm not the biggest F1 fan. I'll tell you right away, it's not about the F1 sport. Like, I think the movie's called F1 because that's the sport that they're doing, but the racing technique and some of the stuff that happens in this movie is not legitimate to the sport. It's something that even the drivers admitted themselves, saying that, like, if you know too much about the sport, you might watch this movie and kind of eye roll at some things, knowing that it's not possible. But that's also not the point, man. Because if you've ever flown a fighter jet, which I haven't, you'd realize you can't take off an F-14 on a 30-feet runway and drive it through a tree and expect to come out on the other end. But Joseph Kosinski does Joseph Kosinski things, and that's kind of going to be his namesake at this point, is how awesome can you make your action sequences feel. And he is the most non-violent action director that exists nowadays, I think, because what this movie does so well, and what Top Gun Maverick also did well, and I said I would stop the comparison, is the stress you feel without necessarily feeling like your life is in danger, meaning you're not engaged in combat in terms of like there's a violent enemy in front of you. Top Gun a little bit more so, but I'm saying just the idea of flying a plane is scary and it's engaging, and you lock in and you want to see the outcome of it. F1 is a sports movie at the end of the day, and that is what a good sports movie needs. Cause why do I want to see them win? Why should we watch them win? And then that's the how you pull it off in the end. Show what is going to be the visual masterclass that you're going to put on to impress me with the ending. And I think that's something that F1 really, really goes out and captures. I will say the performances in this movie are fun. Like, they're fun. They're not brilliant and impeccable, but they're a lot of fun. Everybody is stepping up to the plate and knows exactly what they need to do. Brad Pitt is cocky. He's loose. He is essentially playing Matthew McConaughey. I thought about this just now. He pretty much is playing Matthew McConaughey. I think the standout of this movie is Damson Idris. He has the biggest character arc. He has to overcome the most, and he's fun to watch on screen as he does it. His character is interesting. Kerry Condon's fun as usual. Javier Bardem brings a little bit of an emotional stake to it. He's very good in this as well. But I will say this movie is not going to be defined by any performance. This movie is going to be defined by the entertainment value. And I will say, like I said earlier, sitting at 2 hours and 35 minutes, but that gets wrapped up so darn fast that the entertainment value is there, and it's there for days and weeks and miles of entertainment value are in this movie. You can sit here and watch it, turn your brain off and lock in, going from race to race, from Italy to Belgium to Vegas to Abu Dhabi, following the back end of a Formula One season with a last place team, hoping to make them great. Matter of fact, this film is what I like to do if ever I play the F1 manager video game. It's this thing. Like, just rebuild the team and hope to get a point, hope to get a win. And it's really good for it. Overall, I think F1 is a great time at the movies. I think it's a great time, like, period. I think movies like this should be made on a yearly basis. Give me the high stakes sports. I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph Kosinski is going to make a movie about skiing next. Like, he'll find a high intensity sport and make a film about it. I would love to see a boxing film directed by Kosinski. I'd love to get in there, and because he's really good at capturing every single element of it. He's got cameras everywhere in the cars in this film, and he's really able to capture all the angles. It's fascinating work. It's art at its finest. It's creative. It's intuitive, and as I said earlier, it's a darn perfect blockbuster movie. I loved F1, and I will be encouraging people to see it. For sure. Anyway, if you like this episode those are my thoughts on F1. So if you like what I had to say, you can comment on this video. If you disagree and you want to add to the conversation, you can subscribe so you never miss another one of these reviews. So that's all I had to say about F1. Now, so that's all I had to say about F1. So if you like this video, you can proceed to like it below. You can subscribe to never miss another one. If you disagree with me or you want to add to the conversation, you can comment down below as well. Thank you so much for listening to this movie log, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.